Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Overtop Podcast. My name is Nick, and I'm your host. Today's guest is Brazilian born. He has been living in Canada for over 20 years, and he is, without a doubt, Canadian most famous mural artist. Let's welcome Cristiano De Araujo. How are you, Cristiano?
Good. How are you?
I am good. Thank you for making time to speak with me, and I'm sure my audience will be very interested in learning about you. I read that the way you found passion for the art was at a very early age, correct? There's a story about your sister leaving the crayon, but I want to hear from you what happened next. But before we dive in, please consider subscribe to this podcast, leave a comment, and share this content with someone that might find it helpful. I want to thank you very much for your support.
Right. Well, basically, this is childhood passion that I had, childhood dream as well, which started when well, any other kid, was looking to find toys to to play, and then I remember my sister, she was drawing, and my older sister was drawing for crayon, and then she left the room and left the crayon there. Then I pick up the crayon. And then I want to start drawing. That's when I discover, right in that second, I discovered the passion for art. I just found it to be something super amazing. The ability to create, using, a tool.
That's great. That's enough. And from that point on, Cristiano, did you immediately start, because you were very young, did you immediately start, finding ways to explore that art, or there was a time until you picked up and actually going to the visual arts?
Well, since then, I always look for the opportunity to have the crayons in my hand or a coloring pencils, and anything in that matter. In fact, my grandparents, they noticed this tendency, this enthusiasm, passion for art, and they started buying materials for me, right? The art materials. Then I start drawing. I start doing cartoons, comics and cartoons. So every kid loves cartoons, right? So that was
Absolutely.
my first passion.
Okay. And that obvious that was Brazil. And I also know that you always had this dream of living somewhere else other than Brazil. When did you start having those concerns about finding another place to live? At the same time that your passion for the art starts, showing up, or was it early, later?
This is happening on my teenage years when become an adult, and then I just realized that I have to start becoming independent and go on with my life, and no longer be under the wings or being supported by my grandparents who raised me and my family. So I found Brazil at the time that should be a good place to opportunities to grow and start a life, to prosper.
I see.
So I decided to leave Brazil and coming to a first world country. Brazil is a third world country.
Yeah, correct. Right. So that was in 2009, correct? When you landed in Toronto. Is that correct?
1994.
1994, way back 1994. So, but once you land here, I understand it took some time for you to find work in arts. You had to go through a stage of doing other type of work before you landed, your first work in arts. Tell us about that time, Christian.
When I first got here, as any immigrant, I didn't speak English well. I didn't have the right connections, and then I just had to do what I had to do, to survive. I just started working, in any kind of job or job that is not related to the art.
Okay. And some of these jobs were in construction and other things. Is that accurate?
Correct. Yes, I did mostly. I did a variety of different jobs and odd jobs, but construction was the one that I worked the most in the bricklaying. I work as a laborer and also as a bricklayer.
As an immigrant yourself, I'm an immigrant too. I mean, sometimes when we have this dream, we have this urge to leave our country birth to go somewhere else. Sometimes we don't take the time to prepare to really know as much as possible about the country we want to go. Did you have that problem on your decision making to go to Canada, or you knew what you would encounter in Canada?
I kind of did a little research about Canada, specifically Toronto. That's the city I was coming. But one thing I knew is Canada, it's economically was better than Brazil. So just that thing just gave me peace of mind that if worse come for worse, at least I was in a little bit better situation than Brazil.
No, that's good. You didn't even have an idea of, for example, going to Rio or Sao Paulo, which are bigger metropolis. Didn't cross your mind. You want to really go somewhere else, and Canada was a destination.
Right. I mean, technically, my goal was, my aim was for North America, either US or Canada. Canada is the one that works out. But I didn't want to just move to Brazil, São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, because at the end of the day, the economy will be the same,
Okay.
and then city has more opportunities, but I don't think it's not going to be a drastically change. I want like a big change.
I see. And once you were in Canada, I understand that you were going down the street and you saw a street artist and you went to spoke with the street artist. That's when you found your first, your entrance into the market. Is that the
I really appreciate the street art in the city. That's something I always liked, way before even moving to Canada, Toronto. But I was just matter of connecting to many realms of the arts and finding my niche, and then that's when I started doing public art and murals. And I just, it just falls into place naturally. Just meeting the right people and then getting to the art scene. And then that's how I just end up doing it.
okay? We all have when we have a craft, we all have inspirational figures, people that have been there before, big names or local names. Who are some of the artists in your industry that actually inspire you in the past and have been inspiring you until this day?
To be honest, I don't really have much of a street artist that inspired me. I have more traditional artists
Okay.
that influenced my work, such as Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci. Those are the Renaissance artists. William Bourgeois. I don't know how to exactly pronounce his last name. Um, go, you know, um, those are that I really was impressed by their work. There's also another artist that is a more like a contemporary artist. He's
Okay.
more like an illustrator, and his name is Kim Jung. He's a Korean. He's a really good artist, but the problem is he's just recently passed away.
I'm sorry to hear
That's
that.
one art. Yeah, that's an artist that I really admire the work. So mostly the artists that I like, they're just gone.
And I do understand you actually when you have some work to do, I heard that you uh, do a research on your surroundings where the work is going to be established, and you also add some symbolism to it. So tell me a little bit about your creative process. How does it start before the final piece is set?
Yeah, no, it's a very good question. I believe that if you want to create art, you also have to tell a story, because there's two ways to go. You can either create art as a decorative, that can be something just to look beautiful, but it says nothing. Or you can create an art to tell a story. You know, I believe that, it's important to also to communicate something, to tell a story, to inspire people. That's when whatever area that I'm supposed to create an art piece, I do a research and I learn about the area or the person or the subject, topic, and then I expand from there. And then I create an art. I create a story, you know, to as a form, as a background, as a structure for the art piece.
You do several. So with the visual arts, you have you work in several other disciplines within the visual arts, but seems to be that lately, the last few years, your career took up towards mural art. So is that the segment, if you will, that you want to be focusing moving forward?
Actually, no. The murals are segment are an art form that is very strong in my portfolio, and it's very important in my career. But it's not necessary that it's the art form that I wanted to continue doing for the rest of my life. I do want to explore in then different realms of art.
Okay.
So mural is very strong, and I really love to do murals, and I wanted to continue doing it as well. But there's other things that I want to explore as well.
Tell us about some of the other things you want to explore in the future.
Three-dimensional work, into the public arts, digital art. Although I like digital art, but I want to continue doing that kind of work. Conceptual art, installation.
Okay.
You know,
But that would open a whole new industry for you. I'm feeling, based on what you said, that could open up for you to get to work in, I don't know, maybe animation, maybe even movies. Is that a fair assessment?
yeah, absolutely. I'm very versatile, and I find to be skilled in many modalities. So I'm really open for collaboration in many fields in life. The
Okay.
industry. If something comes along in film as well. I mean, although I done one time a mural as a backdrop for a TV show, I done that too. But I'm open for many things.
Absolutely. That's good to hear. Who are the usual clients you have for the mural? More on the government side, or are there also private entity, asking you to do mural work?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question. If you can
So my
repeat.
question was, who are your current clients in terms of the mural? Are more institutional organization, also private organization, ask you to do work in the mural side?
Oh, the murals it varies from client to client. I mean, for the most part, they are just um, private clients. IA, which stands for Business Improvement Area in Toronto. I don't know how it calls this designation of BIA. I don't know how to call it in different cities or different countries. The government.
Okay.
Also, it's tied to the government as well. Operations, commercial art, private business.
It's a diverse clientele, huh?
That's right.
And Kim, I just want to get your take, because if you go back, say, 20 years ago, maybe 25 years ago, murals were confused. I don't know if confused is the word, but you see mural, you'll see graffiti, you'll see something bad, you'll see the connotation was association with the bad behavior. But things have been changing. Why do you think it has been changing? The governments, the public see the type of art in a different way.
Yeah, no, that's a good observation. I do want to highlight that I'm not per se a graffiti artist or graffiti writer. There's this denomination of graffiti artist, graffiti writer. Although I can do some graffiti work myself too, if it requires. I like to uh, introduce myself mostly as a mural painter. But into the art and then the graffiti world, it started as just tags, and then it is definitely associated to vandalism up to those days today. But what happened is it's also becomes like an art form on its own,
Correct.
and a lot of talented graffiti artists who produce beautiful work, and they can become they can create pretty sophisticated images as well. Even the tagging alone also becomes its own art form, which is very appreciated by many people. And now it's also going towards pop art as well. A lot of artists about the pop art categories, which are using graffiti art and tagging and all that.
I see. Cristiano, if someone wants to hire you, wants to buy your work, where would they go? Will they go to your website, or is there another channel they can reach out to you?
Yeah, my website is a way to see my work. Although I don't have like any forms of a page there for sales or shop. But I do have some of my paintings there. I done some also canvas painting as well, oil on canvas. I've done some art gallery works as well. It's not a very strong gallery of myself, but technically I offer service, right?
Okay.
And my service include any sort of a visual communication in a grand scale.
We will make sure we add your website address on this video when it comes out. I do understand that you now have founded the Toronto Artist Studio. Tell us about this enterprise. Is that just to support your work, or is there also a space to promote younger artists, for example?
Yeah, that's just a studio that I founded. It's technically it's more like a collective of artists where there is different artists on different skills and talent, and then I put together, which can become a strong team, and using this diversity, and then accommodate to clients' needs.
Absolutely. I have a question that you probably have been asked before in other interviews, but again, I want to learn about this. So, if you were, if I would ask you to pick your best or the work that you feel more proud of, which one would be?
One piece that I recently did a few months ago, it's called "Waiting for Aliens." It's a mural about aliens, and I'm very passionate about aliens since I was a kid, and I like the concept of aliens. I do believe in aliens myself, although I never seen one, but I find very interesting. I find every time I engage in a thought about aliens, it just expands my mind, imagination, into the infinite, and
Interesting.
it just open up, your mind, and it's just start, creating questions and, about the infinite, the universe, and your existence, and, and if there is alien form more intelligent than us, what's going on. So it's just very interesting. I find very interesting topic. So fortunately, I had opportunity to meet a client who felt the same way as myself, and we both was a perfect match. And this client gave me freedom to create this art piece about it. And then I also wrote a beautiful story about this piece. This story, I only have sort of like a short version of the story in my Instagram.
Okay.
Uh, uh, on the main picture of the final product of the mural of the aliens. But I do intend to create more elaborated and longer version to put on my website at one point and people can see. So I just have this beautiful story that tells the history of the humanity, how we started and how the aliens were involved in this process. So that's why I like this piece.
Nice. Is that a painting or mural?
Mural. Mural.
Mural. Where is it? Where Toronto?
It's located at 86 Welm Grove near Dufferin and Queen Street in Toronto, downtown Toronto.
Okay. So people in Toronto, if you want to appreciate that art, please check that out. When you have a client, Cristiano, I want to understand, I want to learn for my benefits and also for the audience. How does it work? So the client comes and say, I want you to do this specific type of art, or do they give you a framework and let you be creative to get to that, to whatever they want? How does it work?
Actually, it's a combination of both. There is some clients they know exactly what they want, and they kind of art direct me into the ideas what they want, and then I'm able to create a design based on some of the ideas. But there's also clients who give me freedom for creation, and sometimes somewhere in the middle too, half and half. You know, at the end of the day, I end up creating designs as well, the visual, and that's how it works. There's a combination from all ways, like in different ways.
Okay,
There's also client design ready as well.
that's good to know. Where Tell us about some plans for the near future.
I just wanted to keep creating art, and I feel very blessed for the universe and God give me this opportunity to exercise my passion. And I feel like to be in a very good place in my life right now because I do remember at times that I didn't have any name or I didn't have any means to create art or means to find clients or walls or opportunity to display my art in galleries or any way at all. I was completely on the beginning as everybody else in the beginning of their careers. They always find their place. So right now I'm very happy to be in a place that I can continue doing art. And I want to continue doing my murals and I want to just expand into the the other art form that I told you in three-dimensional and even painting gallery, canvas gallery as well, doing gallery work.
Okay, great. I'm going to ask you one last question. What's the advice you would give to immigrants that want to come to Canada and pursue the art that you are involved in? What advice you would give them?
Well, there is so many things I can say, but just on the top of my head right now, I would say, just not to give up and have perseverance, dedication and believing in yourself, because it's nothing like it's easy. It's either way, it's hard. You just have to choose your art. There's nothing that's that easy handed to us like this. So, and if it is, it doesn't build your character and doesn't even makes your skills to be stronger. Things are so easy. And one of the find a lot of people compliments my work, and I appreciate that. It's a nice feeling. But I also know that if life wasn't hard for me, it wouldn't push me to it wouldn't push me to this level, right? I would just probably stay in my comfort zone.
Exactly.
So just be, a person who is work hard and work smart and don't give up and and just keep trying and eventually something's gonna fall in place.
Absolutely. Cristiano, I want to thank you very much for providing me this time to speak with you. I learned a bunch about your life and your work, and I hope we can talk again sometime soon. Please let me know if there is some news out there that you want to put out, and I'll be able to facilitate that. Other than that, until I see you the next time, Cristiano, you take care of yourself, sir.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I really appreciate it. Thank you.